The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Game Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Thank you for better. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet. Record SGPN when you sign up. You got a free Risk Terrorist t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgame.com/refs. And welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Game Podcast Network. It is currently Friday, June 13th, around 5 p.m. Eastern Time, here to break down the games for Saturday. Supposed to be with Lonte for the show today, but unfortunately he had some car trouble. He could not actually make it on time, so I'm going solo for the show, coincidentally on my birthday. So we are going for a solo birthday stream here on the MLB Gambling Podcast, but either way, point is show must go on. We'll keep it rolling. So we're going to get into the games here for Saturday in a second. Looking briefly at what happened so far today, there's been one game with 2 runs, and right now we're in extras. It's 1-1 in the 10th inning. Pirates have the bases loaded right now with no outs, and Skeens once again got a no decision. Who could have seen that coming? Anyway, point is, there's only one game going on, and it didn't go final yet, so nothing really to talk about there. I know, of course, Adam and I did the prop show earlier today for the Friday game, so we already talked about the Savali trade to Chicago. I have no real thoughts on that. I do think Adam was right, though, that it does feel like Savali is a really toxic teammate, which is why he keeps getting shipped off to different places. But besides that, nothing else that was really, I'd say, newsworthy in baseball up to this point. The Angels are calling up more. They are calling up a former top 10 pick from last year's draft. Basically it. I know Senga got injured as he was trying to reach for that play at first base, ended up getting injured. He'll be on the IL with a hamstring issue, so that's definitely not ideal. Besides that, nothing else really to talk about. So either way, we're going to move on into the games here for the Saturday card in a second. Before we get into the actual breakdown of the games, though, for the 14th, a reminder that you can also find all of our picks and podcasts for free on the SGPN app. Get all the free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series, NBA Finals, and the SGPN app. Get whatever you do, get your apps. Moving on to the actual games here for Saturday. Starting off with the first game on the card, you have the Marlins taking on the Nationals. For this game, you have undecided against Trevor Williams, so we don't know who's pitching, and because of that, we don't have lines for this first game. Now, Williams, we know, has been really bad this season, 3-7, 5.91 ERA. The question is, does it matter? Because Miami is definitely a really bad team, as they're 16 games under, and we know Williams has been a mess, but I have to at least bring it up because he has been really bad at home, 6.68 ERA. The thing is, he has been a little bit better lately. He has given up less than 3 earned in 2 of his last 3, but at home, his last 2 starts, he has been pretty ugly. In fact, the last 3 starts, he's been pretty bad. The last 3 home starts, he has given up a total of 13 runs. So based on that, I don't trust him at home. I don't like his current form. I think the Marlins should be getting plus money. I don't really know who's going to pitch for them, but I do think you're looking at what could be a coin flip game. I'll go with the plus money option, and I'm assuming that will be Miami in this game. So I'll go with Miami for this one. I think Williams is just not good enough to be laying, and he has been a mess recently. So there we go. I'll go with the Marlins, but I'll feel better about it once I know who's actually pitching for that game. Moving on to the next game, you have the Reds against the Tigers. For this game, you have Singer against Flaherty. Now, the Tigers are minus 175. The Reds are plus 145. For the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at 8 for this one. So Singer had a great start to the season. Then it kind of all unraveled because on the road he's been really bad, 5.74 ERA. Singer has been good lately. He has given up less than 3 earned in 3 of his last 4 starts, but he has really not been going much distance. He has gone to less than 5 1/3 in 5 of his last 6 starts. So the point is the distance has not been ideal. And as for Flaherty, he's been fine. 5-6, 3.41 ERA. Been very good at home, though. A 2.56 ERA at home. He's given up 1 run in his last 3 starts combined. So I can understand why he's actually laying a decent price here. I think I agree with it. I'll go Tigers first 5 minus half a run. I think Singer's usually good, as I said before, for giving up at least 2. So he might end up struggling a bit in this matchup early on in the game. Flaherty, though, has been just shoving lately. I think he'll go well here. Detroit's, of course, the better team. 20 games over 500. Reds are 1 over again. We know this team's very streaky, so as soon as they go over, they'll find a way to lose 6 or 7. And they kind of just bounce back and forth. Give me the Tigers early. I'll go with the Tigers minus a half for the first 5 in this matchup as a main thought for this game. Moving on to the game between the Pirates and the Cubs. Now, for this game, you have Burrows against Boyd. Cubs minus 235. Pirates are plus 195 for the over-under in this game. I see the line at 7.5. Now, Burrows got called in midseason, and he's been really, really meh. Really nothing else to add. Been better lately, though. The last 2 starts in 9 2/3. So not much distance, but he's only given up 2 earned. So he has been better. And the Pirates have actually won 3 straight outings that he's made by at least 3 runs. So there you go. For Boyd, though, he has been having a pretty solid season, 2.89 ERA, and he's been good lately. He has given up less than 3 earned in 3 straight. He's given up a total of 3 earned in his last 3 starts combined, but he had no strikeouts last start against the Phillies in 6 innings, and he also has not gotten much run support lately, as the Cubs have scored less than 4 runs in 3 straight starts that he's made. So keep that in mind. For this one, I think I do like the under in this game. I think Burrows can go decently well, and you're looking at Boyd, who I trust to do pretty well against this team that can't hit. So I see a low-scoring game. It's in Wrigley. We saw what happened today. I know that Skeens was going, but he only went 5 innings, and it still was 1-1 at the end of 9. I see a classic Wrigley game, which turns into an ugly pitcher's duel, no matter who's on the mound. I think Chicago wins, but I think for the value, I don't see much at minus 235. So instead, winds blowing in around 10 miles per hour. Give me the classic low-scoring Wrigley game. Give me some type of 4-2 final, something like that. Give me the under in that game as a main thought for that one. Check in the comments section quickly. I see a couple of usual faces here. I see D. Johnson. I see Bennett here. How's it going? I see Ellie also here. Nice to see you. So what's up, guys? How's it going? Point is, though, looking at the next game on the card, I see the Angels taking on the Orioles. You're looking at the Angels, who've been better lately. They're not a team, but you know what? They're kind of, I don't want to say six, but there's a streakiness factor to this team. Where as bad as you might think they are, they're only 1 game under 500. Like, you probably assume they're a lot worse, but they're actually not, because they go on these massive heaters followed by bad runs, and they kind of alternate back and forth. For this game, though, Baltimore is minus 160. The Angels are plus 135. You have Sagano against Anderson. Sagano's one of the only pitchers in the Orioles rotation worth a damn. A 3.23 ERA, been slightly worse at home, but he has been a little bit vulnerable lately. He has given up 3 earned in 2 of his last 3 starts, so something to keep in mind. But he's been okay, which, you know what, is saying a lot for any pitcher in Baltimore's rotation. For Anderson, he's been fine this season, 3.99 ERA, but the home road splits are alarming. On the road, a 5.58 ERA. It has not been pretty, and he has given up at least 3 earned runs in 4 of his last 5, so he has been a bit vulnerable lately, and you might end up seeing him struggle. Now, for the matchup itself, the over-under in this game is set at about 9 or 9.5. 9 is juiced, though, at minus 125. I understand it. I would consider the over, but I don't trust these teams enough to actually do anything. So I'll pass on the total. For the side, it might just come back to, do I want to lay 160 with Baltimore? Hell no. You could argue the pitchers don't really matter that much for these teams. I'm not laying 160 with either of these teams. So whoever's going to be the dog, I was going to take. It's kind of like the, once again, toilet bowl theory that Terrell and I have for the NBA show and the WNBA show, which is when you have 2 really bad teams against each other, take the points or take the plus money. I'm going to take that in this game too. The Angels are not as bad as you might think. They're only 1 game under, and yet they're still getting around plus 135. I get that Sagano's been better at home than Anderson's been on the road, but I can't lay 160 with Baltimore. That's just a crazy price. The Orioles at home this season are also 13-19. The Angels are 18-18 on the road. So I can't even cite some home field advantage. I can't even make that argument because the Angels' road record's better than the Baltimore home record. So for that reason, give me the Angels at plus 135. It's just a really steep price for a bad team. Objectively speaking, the worst team in this matchup. So based on that, give me the Angels plus 135 as my main thought for this game. Moving on to the Blue Jays taking on the Phillies. Now for this game, you have Francis against Sanchez. The Phillies are minus 180. You have Toronto at plus 150. For the over-under in this game, I see the line being set at 8.5. Francis has been a mess this season, 2-8, 6.12 ERA. Better on the road, though, 4.4 ERA on the road. But last 2 starts, he's gone 5 innings, 11 runs. So it has been quite ugly for Francis lately. It's been bad all season for him, but it's not gotten better as the months keep rolling along. Sanchez, though, has been really good. 5-2, 3.1 ERA. He has given up less than 3 earned in 3 straight. I feel like this price is understandable for the expensiveness when you're factoring in how good Toronto's been, as Toronto is 8 over right now. They're 1 under on the road, though. So they have been a pretty good home team. But I think 180 is a price that you can definitely work around with either the run line or the first 5 run line. I'll go with that as my thought for this game. I think Sanchez goes well. I don't trust Francis at all. So give me a Phillies win here. Probably multiple runs. I'll go with the Phillies minus 1.5 as a choice here as well, which you can find at around. Sorry, trying to find the Phillies here. Where is it? Is it not listed here on the database? Okay, either way, I see it. It's at plus 126 for the run line for Philly. It's a very good price with Sanchez pitching against Francis. Give me the Phillies first 5 minus half for run. That'll be juicy. That's probably like minus 135. Or you can find the full game run line at plus 125. I don't mind that either. But I think Toronto's overvalued with their current form based on how bad Francis has been all season long. Moving on to the next game, you have the White Sox taking on the Rangers. Now, for this game, undecided against DeGrom, so we have no listed pitcher for the White Sox. And because of that, we have no actual lines for the game. Texas will be in the $2+ range. They have to be with DeGrom pitching. They've been really good offensively lately. They scored 16 runs in 2 of the last 3 games. I believe they've won 4 or 5. They're playing better, and you're looking at that division. It's more open than you think. I'm not saying the Texas Rangers will win the division, but they're only 5.5 back just by being in 4th place. Like, Houston's in 1st place. They're 8 games over. Houston's the only team above 500 in that entire division. So the AL West has been underwhelming once again. And the Tigers are, for example, an explanation or an example of a very good division leader because they're 20 games over. The Astros are fine, but that division is really not worth a damn. So based on that, the Rangers, if they keep it going, Carter's been very good lately. They've gotten some of the bats to get warmer recently. You could argue that the Rangers might be an interesting candidate for maybe a Cinderella run if you want to go for a division long shot in the last couple of months. Not saying it's going to happen, but I do think that division is still up for grabs, and I do think the Rangers have kind of figured some stuff out offensively. Even Berger got a couple of hits yesterday, so maybe that carries over into this game, or maybe carries over into the whole weekend. But give me the Rangers minus 1.5, whatever that line's going to be. I don't know what the line's going to be, so I can't really talk more in detail about it, but I do think the Rangers offense has gotten going a bit more, and DeGrom should go well here. Give me the Rangers in this one. Think it will be a pretty entertaining game, but I think that the Rangers, assuming the bats have actually woken up again, they can coast in this game. So I'll go with the Rangers minus 1.5 in that one. I see David asking about Francis under outs. I'm not taking the over outs, I'll tell you that much. I don't have any faith in Francis at all. So if you're looking at a Philly offense that can be dangerous with Schwarber, with a lot of the other guys in the lineup, I know Harper's still banged up. I can see Francis struggling a lot. Even if he goes well, Toronto might pull him relatively early to avoid the blow-up inning. So I don't mind the under outs here for Francis. I think he might struggle in this game in general. So I'll go with that as well for a prop. Now, moving on to the next game, you have the Rockies against the Braves. Now, for this game, you have a matchup between Dollinger and Strider. Strider kind of turning into Alcantara a bit after coming back from the Tommy John or the serious injury. Just over, just really bad. Really nothing else to add there. But the Braves hold my beer, laying 350 in this game. Rockies with Dollinger are plus 280. Strider's been a mess, but Dollinger's been worse, 6.85 ERA compared to a 5.4. Strider doesn't bat at home. He has an ERA of 9 so far at home, only 1 outing, but still. He has given up, though, at least 3. He's given up at least 4 runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. So I like the over in this game. I think you can see runs for the over-under. You can find the total at 9. If you want to go for the Rockies, plus 1.5, you can find that at plus 125. I'll go with that. Atlanta's not very good. Yes, they're a lot better at home than on the road, but Strider's been, objectively speaking, overvalued every time he's pitched. He's been that bad so far in the rotation since coming back from injury. Again, I think you're looking at a spot where the Braves might win the game, but I think 350 is insane. Strider, who's 0-5 in 0-5 pitchers at minus 350, I got to pass on that. There's no value there at all. Give me Colorado. I think they can't wait to maybe win the game. I think there's a lot of value on that. Every year you'll get one team that gets up for a game where they're like a plus 300 dog, give or take. I think this game could be an interesting candidate. You're looking at the money line for Colorado being around plus 280. I get this team stinks. I'm aware of that, but damn, that's a massive price. I'll go with the Rockies. I'll go with the over. Give me a fun, high-scoring game where maybe the Rockies compete and find a way to hang in there and maybe even steal the game at the end. Before we get into the remainder of the card for Saturday, reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, which is ADVERTISE, first ever bank for bettors, ensuring that all your transactions are approved, reduces fees, no minimums, catch records as well, hence on approval. For open deposits on today, ADVERTISE.bet, pro at SGPN. When you sign up, you get a free Roast Terrors t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgame.com/refs to claim your free shirt. We're also brought to you by Circa because they're still doing their ultimate fanciful giveaway for a 12-person league to draft in Vegas. Be sure to VIPs for their stay. You get a limo ride from the airport, a $5,000 tab for stadium swim, and a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. You can always get 15% off everything at the Circa properties with promo code SGP15. Enter the Ultimate Fanciful contest for free by going to sportsgame.com's rhythm, sportsgame.com/CIRCA. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the first couple games on the card for Saturday. Time to keep rolling here. Moving on to the next game, you have the Rays against the Mets. You have Rasmussen going up against McGill. For this one, the Mets are minus 150. We know they're insane at home. They're 27-7 at home. They're a monster in Citi Field. For the Rays, though, they've been pretty good. They're 36-32. The over-under in this game, though, is set at about 7.5. Now, McGill this season has been fine. Does not go much distance. Been very good at home, though. 2.16 ERA at home. He's allowed less than 3 runs in 3 of his last 4. So he's in pretty good form as well, but mostly going 5 innings. For Rasmussen, though, he's been great this season. 5-4, 2.22 ERA. You're looking at his recent numbers. He's allowed 2 runs. 2 runs in his last 5 starts combined. 2 earned runs. He has been absolutely shoving. Now, you're looking at his outs, and you're looking at his overall pitch count. He's usually done in the high 70s, low 80s, so he's probably also going about 5 innings in this matchup. So you might be tempted by a first 5 under in this game, which I do not mind. I'll go Tampa first 5, and I'll go Tampa first 5 under. I think I would just want the starters. McGill can go fine. Rasmussen I like. He's in great form, but neither guy goes length. And for that reason, I'll pick a low-scoring start to the game. It's a low total for a reason. I agree. Give me the first 5 under 4 in this game. I'll back the 2 starters. I'll avoid everyone else and give me a low-scoring start to this game. That's kind of where I'm at for this one. Moving on to the next game, Twins against the Astros. Now, for this matchup, you have the Astros in first place, despite really not looking that great. But they're very good at home. They are 24-13. For the Twins, they are 16-20 on the road. Bad series pitching-wise against the Rangers. See how they look in this one. But you have Brown against Ryan. Good pitching matchup. Houston's minus 130. You have Minnesota plus 110. For the over-under in this game, I see 7. Now, even though Ryan's been good this season, a 2.96 ERA, he has given up 7 runs in his last 2 starts combined. So he's been a bit vulnerable recently. For Brown, though, he's been incredible. 1.82 ERA. His DRA at home is 0.88. He's given up 2 runs in his last 3 starts combined. I understand that both pitchers are good. I get it. But you're looking at Houston, who's the better team based on record. You're looking at Houston, who has the better starting pitcher in this game. And Ryan's also not been great lately. And it's only minus 130. I thought this should have been like minus 145. I feel like this price is actually kind of cheap. Give me Houston on the money line. I think it should be closer, in my opinion, to around like minus 145. I see minus 124 on FanDuel for this game. So give me Houston money line. I think Brown should be a bigger favorite. I'll go with that as my main choice for this one. Moving on to the next game, you have the A's taking on the Royals. Now for this game, you have Lopez against Lorenzen. For the lines, I see. Trying to see if I can actually find lines in this game. Where is it? I don't see any lines. So we have nothing to talk about. But the point is, you have Lopez, who's been bad, 6 ERA. You have Lorenzen, who's been bad, 4.94 ERA. Button better at home, 3 ERA. He has given up at least 6 runs in 2 of his last 3 starts. So not exactly ideal for Lorenzen in his last couple of home starts. 5 innings, 11 hits, 6 runs. Start before that, 7 innings, no runs. Start before that, 6 innings, 1 run. So his home numbers have been fine. Did get shelled the last home start. We'll see how he does in this one. I thought about the over, but the Royals really can't hit right now. Candidate will be favored in this game, but the problem is I don't trust them offensively enough to actually win games on a regular basis. I thought about the A's team total over, but Lorenzen's been fine at home. But I might take a swing on it anyway. I think Lorenzen can be vulnerable to high pitch count. He can give up walks, can give up hits as well. The A's do have some power in the lineup. I'll go with the Lorenzen struggle a little bit in this game. Give me the A's over for the team total for this game. Don't have lines in anything, though. Apologies, but Lopez is really not that good. I'll avoid him. I'll give me the A's team total over for that one. Moving on to the next game, you have the Cardinals taking on the Brewers. You have Palante going up against Quintana. Brewers are minus 125. Cardinals are plus 105. The over-under in this game is set at about 8 or 8.5. Now, Quintana has been very good this season. 4-1, 2.66 ERA. Bad at home, though. 4.6 ERA at home. But he has allowed less than 2 earned runs in 2 of his last 3 starts. He's allowed less than 3 earned in 3 straight. So, despite the walk issues, which were always there for Quintana, he has been successful so far this season. I'll see how he goes in this one. For the Cardinals, Palante has been a pretty weak link in the rotation so far. However, he was good last start against Toronto as he gave up 2 runs in 6 innings. But before that, he had given up at least 3 earned in 3 straight, and he gave up 7 earned 2 starts ago. Now, on the road, his recent outings have been up and down as well. 5 2/3, 4 runs against the Orioles, against the Royals, 7 innings, 2 runs, against the Nationals, 7 1/3, 2 runs, the Reds, 6 innings, 3 runs, Braves, 4 1/3, 4 runs, and Mets, 6 innings, 4 runs. So the road starts have been up and down for Palante. Quintana, I think, is the better pitcher here. Milwaukee's better at home. Cardinals, we know, are a pretty good team, but the problem is that they're really bad on the road. They're 14-19, and you're looking at the Brewers, who are 21-14 at home. Give me Quintana. I think 125 is pretty cheap, actually. I think it should be minus 140, in my opinion. I think Quintana is just that much better than Palante. You could argue that similarly, both pitchers do pitch to contact, so it might come down to who gives up the weaker contact, who ends up winning this game. But I think you're looking at a good spot for Quintana, who's been better this season. Give me him and the Brewers at a cheap price here at around minus 125. The money line is a main thought for this one. Moving on to the Yankees against the Red Sox. For this game, you have Rodon against Dobbins. Now, Dobbins ended up pitching against the Yankees last weekend, and he was fine. The Red Sox won the game anyway, so it didn't really matter. But he went 5 innings, 3 runs, and not great, but they got the job done no matter what. Had 0 strikeouts, though, so maybe you might see him struggle in this game as well. Rodon, though, is pitching for the Yankees, who's been very good this season, but Boston killed him last time out, as he gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. The weird part is only 3 hits, so he actually walked some guys, a couple home runs, not much contact, but it was hard contact, and that'll do it. So you're looking at Rodon trying to bounce back here. Problem is the Red Sox have been successful against them in the past, as the active batters have a 320 on base against them. Not amazing numbers, but still decent enough to do damage. For this game, the over-under for the total is set at about 8.5. I think I might like the over. Dobbins did not look great against the Yankees. He had 0 strikeouts. I do think the Yankees were able to get to him. Didn't matter because they were down a ton of runs because Rodon stunk, or because the Yankees' pitching staff stunk. Might have been Yarborough who pitched that game. I don't remember. But the point is, you're looking at a spot where I do think the Red Sox are pretty alive in this game. If I don't trust Rodon and I don't trust Dobbins, I like the over in the game. But do I think the Yankees should be minus 175? It's kind of steep. Boston is 2 over on the road. The Yankees are 8 over. The Yankees are 8 over on the road. Boston's 2 over at home. But the point is, Dobbins has been fine. Rodon, though, got shelled by this team about a week ago, and they're laying 175. I can't do it. I think Rodon's been a pleasant surprise for me so far this season. He's been quite good, but the Red Sox have his number. At least it appears that way. So give me the Red Sox money line at plus 145. I think the price is pretty, I'd say very valuable, actually. But I am going to go with the over as well to set up for a high-scoring game. Moving on, though, to the Padres against the Diamondbacks. Now, for this game, you have Burger against Gallon. Diamondbacks minus 155. The Padres are plus 130. Bergen has not gone much distance in these games, but you know what? He's been fine. 5 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, 5 innings, 2 runs against the Giants. Only 2 starts of the season for him. So he's been fine so far this season. As for Arizona, they've been good again. They are currently at 500, so we'll see how they look moving forward. But you know what? They had a bad series against the Reds, turned it around, and they were able to sweep the Mariners in return. So they've been playing better recently. Gallon, though, has still been underwhelming this season. He's supposed to be an ace in the rotation. Instead, 4-8, 5.15 ERA. Really bad at home, a 6.38 ERA at home. And last start, he was not good. He has actually given up at least 3 earned runs in 5 straight. He's given up at least 4 earned runs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so 5 of the last 6, he's given up at least 4, and 6 straight, he's given up at least 3. So based on that, yes, Arizona has been better lately. I might go for Padres team total over and just fade Gallen, who's been really bad in Chase Field. He's been really bad in general. And you're looking at the Padres, who I think can do some damage in this game. The over-under for this matchup is set at 9.5. So I do think you can argue that San Diego could get a team total in the potential 4.5 range, which I think is reasonable for a road team with Gallen pitching. Maybe Gallen earned runs. They can win in spite of him in this game. So I'm not saying that the Padres are guaranteed to win or anything, but I do think you're looking at a spot where Gallen is overvalued. He's been quite bad at home, been bad lately. San Diego offensively has been waking up a bit more recently, so I do think you're looking at the Padres, who can do some damage. They ended up scoring 7+ runs in 2 of the 3 games against the Dodgers. That was at home, though. They've been significantly worse on the road. But I think you're looking at Gallen being overvalued here. Give me the Padres team total over for this game. In this one, if you want to get really, I'd say, creative, you can go with the Padres first 5 money line in this game. If you trust Berger, who might struggle in this game, who knows? But Gallen has been a mess. I think the value is on San Diego for this game. Moving on to the game between the Guardians and the Mariners. Now, for this game, pitching matchup is interesting as it is going to be between, pulling it up now, Bibee and Kirby. For the pricing, I see Cleveland at +110. I see Seattle and Kirby at -130. For the over-under, I see 7. Now, Bibee has been fine this season, worse on the road, though, 4.99 ERA on the road, a 3.81 ERA overall. For Bibee recently, though, he's been vulnerable. He has given up 9 runs in his last 3 starts combined, so not terrible, but also consistently giving up about 2+. We'll see how he goes in this one. For Kirby, he was really bad coming back immediately from injury, but he started to look a bit sharper. He has given up 4 earned in his last 2 starts combined, struck out 14 Angels in his last outing. So Kirby might be back. We'll see. But he had a very good outing last time out, which is reassuring. So for this game itself, it's very, very creative. Just kidding. Give me the under in the Seattle game. It's a home game with the Mariners. I think Bibee can go fine. I think Kirby can go fine. Both offenses really unimpressive. Give me a low-scoring game here. I see a classic Seattle or Cleveland 3-2 game, which comes down to the wire. Give me the under. I think 7's too high. Give me a rock fight in this game in Seattle on Saturday night. Moving on to the final game on the card, you have the Giants taking on the Dodgers. Now, for this game, Dodgers, of course, are favored because the Dodgers -180. You have the Giants at +150. You have Kershaw against Raup. Now, Raup's been fine this season, a 3.29 ERA. He has given up less than 3 earned in, pulling it up right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the last 7. However, the problem is, actually, it might be 6 of his last 7. Sorry, let me just check again. 6 of his last 7. He's allowed less than 3 earned, but he did pitch okay against the Braves last time out at home. 6 innings, 3 earned. So not exactly amazing, not terrible. But you know what? Good enough. I'd put it that way. Now, for Kershaw, he was pretty bad coming back from injury. Bet at home so far this season, 8.31 ERA, but he was very good against the Cardinals last time out. 5 innings, 1 run, so maybe he figured it out. He has given up less than 2 earned in 2 of his last 3, so keep that in mind. But the question is, do I think the Dodgers should be about -180, and the over-under's at 9 for this game? If you think Kershaw goes well, I actually don't mind the under in this game, because I do think the Giants can find a way to win a low-scoring... I think the Dodgers could find a way to win a low-scoring game. Raup, I think, can go okay. Kershaw has really not been consistent enough for a long enough period of time for me to trust them. But the price feels kind of high. I get Kershaw's been better recently, not going any distance at all. He has gone to less than 5 1/3 in each of the outings he's made so far this season. So you could argue the bullpen could be problematic for the Dodgers. We'll see if they end up having some success in that area. Has been a bit of weakness for this team so far. Yes, they're at home. They're a great home team. I get it. The price feels kind of high, though. Give me the Giants at +158. Massive price for me. I'll fade Kershaw for the value in this one. And it's going to wrap it up for every game on the card here for Saturday. Now it's time for the Lock and Dog picks. Before getting into the Lock and Dog, reminder they're brought to you by our sponsor, on Fantasy, because you can go along with the NBA Finals with the extender bonus. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. When you also sign up for an account, use the code MLB SGPN. You get a special pick and your first time that offer up to $1K in bonus cash on Fantasy promo code MLB SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, because you've heard us talk about Rhythm before. This dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends and Detective Patterns, where Rhythm's models have consistently won and have a high ROI. Power Trends are updated every day, so it's a Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed picks. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. And also try to have a free for a week, because in 7-day free trial, go to sportsgambling.com/rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm to claim your 7-day free trial. We're also brought to you by MyBookie, because they're placed by every sport. They have the NBA Finals, they have the Stanley Cup, they have baseball, they have UFC, they have US Open if you want to bet on some golf. A reminder, though, you can also use it for a ton of occasions. Use crypto for all these payouts. Use a positive Santo for an account. Use the code SGPN to get a 110,000 match up to 1K. Terms and conditions by MyBookie, promo code SGPN. Welcome back, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast. Finished going through the games for the Saturday card. Time to move on into the lock and dog picks for the show. Starting off with the lock on the show, what do I want to go with? Because I was interested in actually a lot for the card today. I thought about maybe going Phillies first 5, but the Blue Jays have been good enough to kind of scare me off of that. What do I want to go for this one? You know what? I'm going to go for it. Twins have not been good lately. They won the middle game against the Rangers, but they have been slumping. The Astros have been very good at home. Brown's been great. Ryan's been very good this season, but he has not been as good lately. Give me the Astros money line at -124. I think it's too cheap. Brown, you could argue, is a serious Cy Young favorite right now. You could argue Scooball might get it anyway, because he's been on a massive heater for about 2 months straight. But I do think that Brown will be a finalist for the award. He's been that good. They're at home. Houston's the better team right now. Give me the Astros money line at -124 as my lock. For my dog, thought about Boston, but I'm not going to do that. I actually like these amount of dogs on the card today. Do I want to go really bold and take a stance with Colorado? I will not do that. Thought about it, but I feel like there's just a little bit too much risk involved backing an all-time bad team. Instead, I'm going to go with I'll go with the Angels at +135. I understand Anderson's not been very good on the road. I get Sagano's been fine. It's an insane price for a bad team. Baltimore has the worst record in this game. They're below 500 at home, and they're laying 160. It's an insane price for me. The Angels have been good lately. It's why they're back to around 500. Good enough for me. Give me the Angels money line at +135 as my dog. Now, for the home run play for the show, let me see if there's anybody that I actually like to fade pitching-wise for this matchup. Let me just quickly see if there's anybody that I'm interested in. I'm assuming avoid the Rockies. It feels obvious, but I feel like you might. I mean, it's in Atlanta, though, so you might get a decent price, actually, considering the fact that it is not in Coors. But that implies I have to actually back a Braves batter, which I don't wish upon anybody. So I'm not going to bother with that. Trevor Williams, still not giving up any home runs, so I can't take that, even though he stinks. Sorry, trying to find out if there's anybody I'm really tempted by to allow a home run. Francis does give up some home runs, which can be interesting. Let me just quickly see what the wind is looking like for Philly. It's blowing in, but, I mean, you're looking at Schwarber, who should be a bit too cheap for the home runs, but he's been very good against Francis in general. Do I think Trey Turner hits one? No. I don't trust Castellanos enough. I'm not really sold on the actual lineup for Philly for the home runs here. Schwarber makes sense, but his price is too cheap for me to consider at this point. So I'll pass on him there. Let me look at Lopez for a second on Oakland, or on Sacramento now. Damn, he's been bad. Do I want to go Salvador Perez, who has really not been good at all? Let me just see his splits versus. Yeah, he's a lot worse against righties. Give me Sal Perez. Why not? I'll go for the guy to kind of tee off against Lopez. Lopez is a lefty. I think Perez can take him deep here in this game. They've been really bad at hitting, but Perez has power. That's good enough for me for the home run play. I'll go with him there. For his actual splits, he has been better against lefties, so keep that in mind, despite a smaller sample against lefties. Give me Salvador Perez as my home run pick for this game on Saturday. That's going to wrap it up for the show. Back once again on Sunday to break down the Monday games. Till next time on Twitter, Reichel Radio. Good luck to all of you, and